Yeah. No, I do not own the rights to that song. No, that is not my original piece, but that is from a brother from right here in Baltimore who I have collaborated with. So, pretty sure he wouldn't mind me putting a little bit of his track on here because it's so fit what I'm talking about. That's the topic for the day. Mind your business. Nah, mind your business. Like every time I think about those words, that song always comes to my mind because I'm from Baltimore. And in the 90s growing up, we had some music called club music, which is what that was right there. What it still is. But, yeah. I'm here to talk about that this week. Just about how we as, believers, yes, sometimes we are called to help. Sometimes we are called to intervene. But for the most part, it's supposed to be mind our business. And let's get into it right out of the scriptures. Not out of me. Not my opinions, but the scriptures. Let's get it. Sirach, Ecclesiasticus 11:9. Strive not in a matter that concerneth thee not, and sit not in judgment with sinners. Good News Translation says it like this. Don't get into an argument over something that is none of your business. Don't take part in decisions that are made by sinners. And these days, man, like everybody got opinion on everything. And people be willing to like go to bat or go to war for stuff that don't even have nothing to do with them. And the funniest thing about it, especially when it's like something that had to do with a celebrity or whatever. I remember this meme a long time ago, like when I first got on social media, excuse me, and they was like that some of y'all be going so hard for somebody who, if they was to come see you in the hospital, you was on life support, and their phone need to be charged, they'll unplug your life support to charge their phone up, for real. And that's evident in the way a lot of y'all be getting treated. Don't even get free tickets to shows, but y'all be riding or dying with some of these folks against people who you don't even know what the meat and potatoes of the issues going on between them and them folks. So it's just a word about that and a word in general, for real, like it starts at one place, but it also goes into many general areas that many people can use it, So that's what we're doing right now. This is Proverbs 26:17. He that passeth by and meddleth with strife belonging not to him is like one that taketh a dog by the ears. Amplified Bible says it this way. Like one who grabs a dog by the ears and is likely to be bitten, so is he who, passing by, stops to meddle with a dispute that is none of his business. But my man, Mr. Hotspot, say, none of my business. It's none of my business. It's like one of my theme songs in my head. Leviticus 19:16. Thou shalt not go up and down as a talebearer among thy people, neither shalt thou stand against the blood of thy neighbor. I am YAH. The Most High said that. That's straight from his mouth. Amplified Bible says it like this. You shall not go around as a gossip among your people, and you are not to act against the life of your neighbor with slander or false testimony, saying you saw something you didn't see, or just saying stuff that's not true. I am YAH. The Most High himself said this, that we're not supposed to do that. So that's something to really, really take in the heart. It's not a man saying it, but the Most High actually said that himself, that we shouldn't be doing this. So let's act accordingly. Sirach, Ecclesiasticus chapter 19, verse 8. Whether it be friend or foe, talk not of other men's lives, and if thou canst without offense, reveal them not. And we're going to go to the Good News Translation, but we're going to actually read the whole section. Like, that was a great verse. That verse stuck out to me, but this is the whole leading up to it and after it in the Good News Translation. And the segment is titled Loose Talk. It starts at verse 6, chapter 19 and verse 6, and we're going to go up until verse 13. Avoid idle talk, and you will avoid a lot of trouble. Never repeat what you hear, and you will have no regrets. Don't tell it to your friends or your enemies, unless it would be sinful to keep it to yourself. Whoever hears you will take note of it, and sooner or later will hate you for it. Have you heard a rumor? Have you heard a rumor? Let it die with you. Be brave. It won't make you explode. A foolish person trying to keep a secret suffers like a woman in labor. Like, it's hurting them so bad that it's like labor pains for real. Like, they got to say something. But they say a wise man speaks because he has something to say. A fool speaks because he had to say something. Don't be a fool. Let's not be fools. Because I'm reading this for everybody. I'm reading it for myself too. Because I too have loved a gossip page or so, my media takeout and Sandra Rose, all that back when I first got on the internet and stuff like that. Just had to know how the celebrities was living, had to know how people was living. And I found that sometimes, I don't know if anybody listening can relate, sometimes just hearing how messed up somebody else's life is make you feel like yours ain't so bad. That's what I feel about a lot of people who like to spread gossip. And as we see in, some other stories, recent stories with like Kwame Brown, who I spoke about before, what they say, it ain't no fun when the rabbit got the gun. Like, some people make their living off of putting other people's business out there. But the second somebody puts some of their business out there, they send a cease and desist and everything. Like, it don't feel so good, do it. So keep that in mind next time any of us, when we want to share what's going on in somebody else's life so bad and be so adamant and so upset about it and so charged up about it, like what they got to do, what we really got going on. Like, almost look at gossip like alcohol. Like, you feel good while you drinking it, you feel good while it's taking a hold on you, but the next morning when you wake up, you sober up, you still got them same problems in front of you. So all that drinking and all that was a temporary escape, but what did it really do for you? So all that feel good when you telling somebody else's business and when you putting somebody else's stuff out there. But when you wake up and you get by yourself and you got time to pause and reflect, you still got them same issues going on in your life that you had before you did that. So what does it really do for any of us? Like I said, I'm talking to myself too. This is verse 11. A foolish person trying to keep a secret suffers like a woman in labor. We just read that, but probably need to be read again. Every time he hears a secret, it is like an arrow stuck in his leg. If you hear that a friend has done something wrong, ask him about it. Maybe it isn't true. If it is true, he won't do it again. Talk to that person one-on-one. Go rap to that person. But the meme say, don't talk. If you want to talk about me, ask me. I'm available, But to an extent, though, because sometimes that get ridiculous, too. Because, once again, if it has something to do with you. But if it's none of your business and it don't have nothing to do with you, why you worried about it? That's how I look at it. This is, wait a minute. Wrote some notes for myself here. I'm sorry. See if you know. Oh, yeah. What it say? If you have a problem, there's a meme back in the day that I saw when I first got online too. It said, if you have a problem with me, call me. If you don't have my number, that means that you don't really know me well enough to have a problem with me. And I believe that. I agree with that. All right, this is verse 14. If you hear that a neighbor has said something he shouldn't, ask him about it. Maybe he didn't say it. And if he did, he won't say it again. Once again, it's all about going to that person one-on-one. Rapping to them, not making it a thing for you and everybody. See what I'm saying? Only cowards feel the need to call in a whole bunch of people and get a whole bunch of people on their side about something. Especially when they know they're wrong. But a real person that's strong in their convictions and their beliefs, like they can pull up a person one-on-one and they can talk about it. And if they can't come to any resolution, then that's the point where you just agree to disagree. You go your way. You let that person go their way, and they going on believing how they believe and feeling how they feel. You going on feeling how you feel, believing how you believe, So many people just want to make it a whole thing of, like, turning everybody against this person. Oh, we don't like him. Like what they call the whole cancel culture and all that. That's crazy to me, Why can't you fight your battles one-on-one? Why you need to call in a whole squad to be on your side if you know you're right? You're right. Just keep living. Let the Heavenly Father take care of it, Leave it alone. Keep doing what you're doing. But hey, I digress. This is verse 15. If you hear something bad about a friend, ask him about it. Reiterating the same thing. It might be a lie. Don't believe everything you hear. I had that in one of my songs, that Truth is Marching On record. That's the first line. Don't believe everything you hear. Don't believe everything you see. Please believe that the end is near. Don't be fooled by the enemy. If you want to hear that song, go to my the same page where you're listening to this. Scroll down to Truth is Marching On, and you'll hear the whole song. Verse 16. A person may say something carelessly and not really mean it. Everyone has sinned in this way at one time or another. And this takes me to Ecclesiastes. We in Ecclesiasticus right now, but this takes me to Ecclesiastes, the book that's right after Proverbs and the regular King James Bible in this one. This is Ecclesiastes chapter 7, verses 21 and 22. Also, take no heed unto all words that are spoken, lest thou hear thy servant curse thee. For oftentimes also thine own heart knoweth that thou thyself hast cursed others. Good News Translation. Don't take everything that people say to heart, or you may hear your own servant cursing you. Your conscience knows that you yourself has cursed others many times. That's a true one right there. If you real with yourself, you can admit to that. I know I can. New Living Translation says it like this. Don't eavesdrop on others, or you may hear your servant curse you, for you know how often you yourself have cursed others. Keep it real. Now let's get back to Sirach. This is verse 17. If you hear something that makes you angry with your neighbors, ask him about it before you threaten him. Leave the matter, like I said, to the law of the Most High. Some manuscripts add verses 17c through 19. And don't be angry. Fearing Yah is the first step towards accepting you. He will love you if you are wise. Learn Yahuwah's commands. It is a discipline that gives life. Those who do what pleases him enjoy the fruit of the tree of immortality. Not those who go after everything else and think everything else is important, like we read in Ecclesiastes before. Fear the Most High and keep his commandments. This is the whole duty of man. Everything else is pales in comparison to that. That's the most important thing that we could do for real, you know. So much more to life than the stuff that everybody's stuck on, the stuff that everybody want to talk about every day, man. You watch the news, you see what's going on around us. You'll see that stuff is nothing in the grand scheme of things. If anything, it's like a distraction. And everybody needs a good distraction every once in a while. It's good for our mental health. But at the same time, let's keep our focus on the main thing. What they say, let the main thing remain the main thing. And that's fearing the Most High, keeping his commandments, and being watchful as well as prayerful, and being aware of the times that we in right now. You know, I'm not knocking nobody for loving their favorite song or their favorite artist or their favorite movie. None of that stuff. But let's just keep in the forefront of our minds what's most important, what's more important than any and all of that. This is, like, man, like, if you really think about it, like the books of Revelation, 2nd Ezra, and Daniel is literally happening right in front of our faces, and people just worried about so many of the wrong things. So let's put our focus and keep our focus on the right things, y'all. This is Proverbs 1 and 22. How long, ye simple ones, will ye love simplicity? And scorners delight in their scorning, and fools hate knowledge. This is Psalm 4 and 2. O ye sons of men, how long will ye turn my glory into shame? How long will ye love vanity and seek after leasing? Selah. The Amplified Bible says that this way. O sons of men, how long will you honor and glory? Will my honor and glory be turned into shame? How long will my enemies love worthless, vain, futile things and seek deception and lies? Selah, which means pause or stop and think. That being said, man, it's like everybody got enough on their own personal plate. And this is not saying not to be concerned about others, not to have a tender heart towards others, but I just know that everybody got enough on their personal plate. to not be worried about the frivolous things and the things that sound entertaining for the moment, or somebody cracking a joke on somebody so everybody want to get their joke in on them, or everybody feel a certain way about this person so everybody want to get their little kick or their little stomp in or whatever like that. It's like the scriptures say, let every man examine themselves, because the truth be told, everybody got something about them that everybody wouldn't agree with. You feel me? And if you don't, then who are you really? Like, are you really you, or are you just playing it safe and being who you think everybody want to see it here? But that's just something I'm throwing out there. The key, the whole thing that I'm doing right now, that I'm reading. Matter of fact, let's end it out with a scripture. Let's not even end it out with none of my little commentary in my mouth. Let's end this whole thing with a scripture. And this is from, I believe, the Apostle Paul. In one of his epistles, what do you say? Let every man one second. Sorry for the little awkward silence. Awkward silence. That's what they say at the wrestling matches when the match get a little boring. When they do what they call scientific wrestling, where they sit down on the mat and they actually do moves and maneuvers on each other, as opposed to whipping each other to the ropes and doing all the high flying stuff. Some of the fans tend not to be too pleased with that, so they say little chants and stuff, and that one always stuck in my mind. I found it though. This is 1 Thessalonians chapter 4 verse 11. It says, "In that ye study to be quiet, and to do your own business, and to work with your own hands as we commanded you." And the New Living Translation says, "Make it your goal to live a quiet life, minding your own business and working with your hands, just as we instructed you before." And let me get one more for real. One more, because this is what we all should be doing. This is Philippians chapter 2 verse 12. And it goes a little something like this. "Wherefore, my beloved, as ye have always obeyed, not as in my presence only, but much more in my absence, work out your own salvation with fear and trembling." This is the New Living Translation. "Dear friends, you always followed my instructions when I was with you, and now that I am away, it is even more important. Work hard to show the results of your salvation, obeying Elohim the Most High with deep reverence and fear." Let's get it from the Amplified if we can, and we're going to end it off like that. Amplified Bible. "So then, my dear ones, just as you have always obeyed my instructions with enthusiasm, not only in my presence, but now much more in my absence, continue to work out your salvation. That is, cultivate, bring it to full effect, actively pursue spiritual maturity with awe-inspired fear and trembling, using serious caution and critical self-evaluation to avoid anything that might offend the Most High or discredit the name of Christ." And with that being said, that's what we all supposed to be doing right now, working out our own salvation with fear and trembling, and doing a lot of self-evaluation, not evaluating everybody else. You feel me? So with that being said, that's it for this week. All praises to the Most High. Blessed Shabbat to everybody if you're catching it on the day that it's posted. If not, bless whatever day that may be. Most High willing, I'll see y'all again real soon. Shalom.